Hey everyone, this is LuckySevenDX and welcome back to Let's Play Okamiden, and there's a banging noise, and it's kind of obnoxiously annoying, but we'll get to that in a little bit, because we're actually going to head over in this direction, which actually has nothing to do with the banging noise, and it's just sort of some weird thing that just sort of comes out of nowhere. But whatever, in the last episode we finished wrapping up some side quests, and this episode, kind of a short episode, well, 16 minutes, this one is that over short, but according to this project, I guess it is. But we're going to wrap up this current section of the game, and we're going to move on to a whole new chapter of Okamiden later on. Anyway, we used Raiden and a Thunderbolt to wake this guy up, and I don't really. This scene really has absolutely no point other than giving Raiden here a happy ending. He's like, I helped someone, I'm going to go move on to the next life, bye. And I don't like why were you even here, Raiden? Like both games. What did you really accomplish other than being a source of Thunderbolt? I don't know. It's whatever you want to make of it, I guess. Anyways, we'll just go ahead and talk to people just to see if they have anything meaningful to say. Spoilers, they don't. And they're going to go figure out what this banging is all about, because, well, you can't really hear it as much here, at least. No, you can't hear it all here. But, over in other areas, it's going to be loud, it's going to be obnoxious, and there's going to be something going on for us to check out. Also, just a fair heads up right now, this episode is going to be pretty much cutscene central. Like, there's going to be all cutscenes, all the time. There is a strange noise. Sounds like a lot of banging. A lot of banging. Not that kind of banging, guys. Don't put your mind... Okay, I guess my mind's already in the gutter because I even thought of that to begin with. But if you thought of it before I said it, then you're in the gutter too. We'll have a gutter party. There'll be gutter cake, and gutter ice cream, and gutter balloons, and gutter party hats. And it'll be a good time. I turned in the praise list already, so we'll just ignore these people. Who cares about scientists? I guess we'll talk to them, though, because they're scientists, and it's kind of cool. They're all happy that Jen made it out alive, which is always good. Losers never prosper, indeed. The banging actually is at that tower that had the vine thing that I never really did anything with, and that's precisely why I didn't do anything with it, because we could do something with it right now. So that's precisely what we're going to do. And if the game wasn't apparent enough, I never realized that there's like some sort of weird fire thing on top of the thing up there. Usually I don't get to see that very often. Huh. Oh, yeah, you don't really ever get that angle, so you never really see on the top of this building over here. Kind of interesting. I wonder if it was like that in Okami. I really don't remember those details. Anyway, this tower. This is where Jen lives. So Jen, or Gen, or whatever the heck his name is, he's going to be back in this episode. We're going to figure out what the heck he's doing up here with all that banging, dude. And the entrance to his home is actually up here on the top of the vine thing, which is kind of weird and also kind of obnoxious because you have to go up here a few times. And each time you go up here, you have to do the whole vine shenanigans thing, which is just kind of sort of silly. But this one actually, I think you can you skip ahead? Yeah, you can actually skip this one. Go all the way to this one if you get the camera angle just in the right position. Which, you know, as you head up, you get a little bit of extra height, and you can actually barely see that other vine. Skip ahead. Save yourself half an ink pot and a little bit of time. You also get angst on top. Might as well pick that up just for the sake of treasure. Anyway, Jen is apparently very busy working on this thing that he's making out of wood and electricity. Kind of a weird combination. I don't think wood is necessarily the best building. I mean, that's definitely wood. Anyway, he found some blueprints. I'm pretty sure the blueprints from the Moon Tribe don't involve wood. Dude, did you see their technology? It's all like futuristic high-tech metal stuff, not this. This looks like a freaking robot thing. And of course, you know that this thing's going to be important later in the future. So yeah, Jen apparently isn't listening at all right now. He's too busy. He's sort of the kind of mentor where once he gets into a mood, once he's like, I gotta fix this, he just doesn't give a shit if it's being annoying or causing people trouble. It's too noisy. Yes, it is too noisy, Kagura. But he's not even listening. So whatever. This cutscene almost has like no point because it's pretty much like, hey, he's building something. Let's come back and figure out what it is later on. Because we're actually going to leave and take care of other stuff now. But we'll get back to what Jen's doing later in this episode. Do not fret, guys. That mystery shall be revealed in this episode. Even though there's still banging. Which is good. I kind of... Oh, I landed on the... I was like, did I get caught on like the side? No, there's actually a flower there. Anyways, what we need to do now is make our way over to North Ryashima Coast and go see how Kurow's doing, because we haven't seen Kurow in a couple episodes, and he's a cool guy and all, you know, we fucking fear him, we should probably go check up on him. Make sure he's not doing bad things that Scholar Lady has a crush on. Oh, goodness. Goodness. You know Japan probably has Rule 34 shenanigans like that all over the place. Do not want, man. That is probably child... Yeah, no. We're not gonna go there at all. This whole Kurow scholar relationship is just like maximum going on right there. And you know, the scholar girl, I mean, she's not denying him either. She's sort of going along with it. Like, she's like, yeah, I'll date you. And that's just, like, he's like 10, dude. He's like 10 years old. I don't know how old they are, actually. I mean, he's Moonchive, so who knows? He could actually probably be 18, for all we know. You know, Waka is supposed to like, live like 200 million years or something. Well, I think it's only like 200 years. Probably more than that, though, because he came... I believe that the lore is he came down to Earth, or to Nippon 200 years, not Earth, technically. Anyway, they fixed the grave. It all looks all fancy. It's pretty boss. Dude, you spend too much time like California or something like that, like all that crazy slang. I know it's not just California, everyone uses it these days. The kids, the youngins, I mean, at least the translators, the one thing they translated properly was American slang. Otherwise, they just did all the bad things. And why did you resurrect the shrine? Now evil's just gonna come out of it again. Now, this is actually the evil that we cut out of Sugawara, as we're gonna learn in a little bit. Bad things, guys. What, you thought the plot was over already? You thought we beat the main bad guy? No, of course not. We still have plot left to do. Yes, it's the demon who possessed Sugawara. I guess Kagura would know. She was trapped inside him for a long time. That doesn't sound dirty. But yep, meet this guy. Finally, some answers being revealed, because this guy has been stealing the souls of everyone we've beaten throughout the entire game. You know, there's Master Anura, there was the Bullhead, there was, you know, the doll thing whose name I forget, Rio something or other thing. He's been collecting their souls, and he's finally revealed himself. This guy is the main villain of the game. Those of you who are wondering, his name's Kurow. That sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I've seen an Kurow somewhere else before. It seems like a very common evil name. He's the heir to the Throne of Darkness. Don't worry, I'll explain who he is in a little bit. But first, like every bad guy, he's ascended a giant spear. Wow, he's just going straight for Chibi there. At least he learned who the main plot point is, but somehow he misses Chibi, and instead completely goes ahead and destroys the runes. Instantly. They're all gone. That's why you can never go back there, because he destroys them completely. So the runes are gone. No more ancient runes for you. Apparently him blowing up the entire runes is not good enough, though he's lacking strength. And as you can see, the main characters are a bit worried right now. Chibi, by the way, is perfectly fine. What? They're not going to kill off Chibi. That'd be silly. Except, of course, Chibi, once again, this is like 3 or 4 times. He hasn't learned his lesson. He's still going to just blindly charge at the bad guy and get his ass kicked. Of course you're not ready. You're never ready, Chibi. You're only ready when it's actually time to fight the boss. But, basically, yeah, this is the bad guy. His main goal, basically, is to complete his power and rule the world in darkness. This camera angle is just the weirdest camera angle ever. Like, it's just like, hey, close-up of Kurow, go! With him pulling his flute out, looking all brave and stuff. I don't even know. Yeah, Kagura apparently knows what the darkness is, and apparently she doesn't like it. Yeah, darkness tends not to be very good. You don't usually want your land covered in darkness. Usually not a good idea. And this is kind of a recycled plot from the first game, because the first game, Okami, was all about how Yami wanted to cover the land of darkness. In fact, Yami, this guy actually, yeah, it has some relation to Yami, because he wants a new world for Yami, the big dark overlord person from the first game. But apparently, Kurow needs to go talk to Orochi. But we killed Orochi in the first game, just like 9 months ago. So how are you gonna have? What are you doing? Portal thing? He's playing with portals. Hey, oh, reference. But Chibi tries to follow him, but it's too late. Failure. So he goes back in time 9 months, and now Kurow's in the past. Odd. I guess there's not really much we can do about that. We don't have like time travel or anything, do we? I don't think so. So I guess, you know, we just need to figure out. I guess we can just sort of go back to hidden peace, right? No, of course not. Evil darkness. Need to find a way to stop us. Now we actually can find a way to go back to the past. Believe it or not, yeah, that's right, guys. Time travel. It's gonna happen. Just crazy. Anyways, you can see Kurow and Kagura are both just completely blown away by his dark power. Clearly the guy's very evil. They're shaken. They are shaken, not stirred. Because James Bond does not like shaken children. He likes them stirred instead. Or the other way around. Whatever. So yeah, Orochi, Amaterasu, you know, first game, defeated him about a year ago, and that actually raises an interesting question, though, because is it 9 months now at this point, or is it, because it's 9 months later from the beginning, but, and it's gonna say 9 months when we, I guess, slight spoilers, when you go back to the past, it says 9 months ago for, on like, the location information, so it's like, okay, so it's 9 months ago, but then there has been, like, all these time skips, like when Kagura learned her thing, and the whole Ayami thing, you know, there's clearly a year in between the fireworks and the fireworks, at least that's what's implied, so, and yet it's 9 months ago, but it's not 9 months ago, it's actually more a year or 9 months ago at this point, so, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, don't try to think of how time works in this game, because it doesn't, really at all. But Kurow! We have Kurow now. Hey, that rhymed. He's going to be our partner once again for quite a while. Unfortunately, you only get Kagura for a little bit of peacetime. You don't really get to fight her for anything besides optional fights. But basically, Kurow is the main person you're going to be wanting here. But now that we have him, we're going to go head back to the tower where Jen was. See if he finishes stuff, because as you can hear, it's not really a banging anymore. So something he must be finished or something. So we're going to go head over there, see what's up over there, and see if we can find a way to get back to the past, because I guess I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now, guys. The rest of the game is going to take place in the past. And now they had, touched upon this topic in Okami. They had, the whole go back to the past and fight, Orochi in his original form along with Shiranui sort of segment. So they've had time travel in Okami before, but they just blatantly overuse it in this one. Like I said, the entire rest of the game is time travel, which is, I'd say, I guess, we're almost at, like, the last third, maybe? So, like, the last third to a half of the game is pretty much entirely in the past. Now, I'm not going to reveal details about how this works, because there's stuff and things. But the point is, we need to go back to the past and somehow stop Kurow from meeting Orochi or something, or whatever he's planning to do back there. He's planning evil things, and regardless of what they are, we need to stop them, because that's just what we do being the good guys. But yeah, so the rest of the game taking place in the past. Of course, the machine that Jen was working on was a time machine. Convenience! Hey guys, we need a time machine. Oh, I just built a time machine. Oh, isn't that just a pleasant coincidence? Oh ho 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 ho. Well, that's just the way this game works, apparently. And Jen, being the silly inventor, has no idea what he's doing. But we can use this to go back 9 months. I guess technically, according to the game, it's 9 months. Whatever the time it is, to the past, back when the first game takes place. And this is actually pretty cool, guys, because this is why I end up liking the plot, is because the last half, this whole time travel thing, despite time travel usually being a very sketchy thing to use in your plots, it's interesting in this game because it fills in a lot of the gaps that Okami never touched upon. So a lot of those things in Okami that you never really got to see, a lot of the events that happened before you got there in Okami, or that happened, elsewhere while you were doing stuff in Okami, we're actually going to be able to experience them as Chibi and Kurow, which is really cool. I'm going to get into more detail on that next episode, because next episode is probably the coolest example of that. Really, really, really cool example of how this whole time travel ties in with the Okami plot. And in the end, like, Okamiden isn't really strong as a separate plot, but what it ends up doing beautifully, thanks to this time travel segment, is it ends up filling in Okami and making Okami's story better, making it, you get to see what happens behind the scenes in Okami, and that's really cool. So if you haven't played Okami yet, you might want to play Okami before you do this section, because you really do appreciate all the stuff going on in Okami when you do this whole Okamiden segment of going back to the past when Okami, because 9 months ago was when the original Okami took place. Anyway, Isun just randomly why Isun? Why does he just show up in the most random of spots? He's like, hey, I'm Isun, I'm going to do random stuff. That spaceship-looking thing that he has, that's going to come into play later in the game. Just keep that in mind, but it's not that important. Basically, he found a spaceship in the Moon Tribe ruins. That's all you really need to know. And Jen, very excited about that. He's going to build his spaceship for Isun. But that's not important for right now. Right now, we need to go back into the past. We can save this whole spaceship thing for later. Don't worry, there's not going to be some sort of, like, Chibi in space segment, because that would be kind of stupid. But it'll take place in, like, the very, 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 very end of the game. And we'll see what that happens. Anyway, kind of an interesting... Kurow's just very... not allowing women to help him or something like that. Like very it's like not feminist. It's not masochist. It's something else. But he is chauvinistic or something. Where like he's like, no, you're a woman. You can't come with me. And well, it's more like he's like his logic. I mean, you know that deep down he's like, you're a woman. You can't come with me and help. You stay in the kitchen, woman. It's pretty much what Kurow does. Kind of sad that he's like that. But basically, his excuse is like, oh, if I die, someone needs to come rescue me. Wouldn't it make more sense to take the super powerful Mika with you? You know, wouldn't that sort of help you survive in the end? Because you're like, hey, Miko and stuff. You know, you could help fight. 2 people fighting is better than 1 person fighting. Well, 2 people and a dog. Anyway, so Kurow gets some information. The scholar's basically like, I'll tell you my name when you come back. Once again, this whole scholar-Kurow relationship is just weird. And of course, we'll be careful, Kagura. Don't worry, guys, this isn't the last time we're going to see Kagura. She still has some roles left to play. But no, it's just going to be Chibi and Kurow. We're going back in the past, guys. And that's where we're going to pretty much leave the episode. So next episode, guys, we get to go to the past. But first, we actually get a little segment where we see Kuni. We sort of hallucinate some Kuni again. Kuni, I miss you, dude. You're so freaking... You're gone. Well, I don't really miss you. You're not that great of a character. But, yeah. Chibi, Kurow, the past. We're going to start filling in some of the gaps that this game and Okami did next time, guys. So this is LuckySevenDX signing out. See you guys next time in 2 days when we go back 9 months in the past. Weird, huh?